Welcome to The Magnetic Voice, here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel, a show where speakers and singers learn how to be more magnetic and align their voices to the divine within. Today, episode 38, New Season, New Balance. And now your host, Monique McDonald.
Hello and welcome to the Magnetic Voice podcast. My name is Monique McDonald and I am here with Shannon Kropf.
Hello, Monique, and hello, everybody out there. It is wonderful to be here in springtime.
Yes!
I've been waiting for it this year.
Exactly. We celebrated on March 20th the spring equinox.
Beautiful.
And this is one of my favorite. We have one in autumn as well. Mm-hmm. It's one of my favorite days. It is the moment when day and night are of equal length.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to be talking about those opposites and that balance when day and night are balanced.
Mm-hmm.
So when I started thinking about this, I realized how out of balance I
am. When you told me what this the title of this was, I just kind of groaned, like, oh, that means I have to be truthful with myself.
It's so true. It's this idea that, you know, we've been in the dark in winter.
Mm-hmm.
And we know light's coming, right?
Right.
Nighttime has been longer than daytime.
Yes.
So the days have been shorter, and at least up here in New York City, really short.
Mm-hmm.
And we're starting to notice that they're getting a little brighter and a little longer.
Yeah.
And as I was thinking about this, I was thinking about how my year started, how winter was. It just, it felt so dark and heavy.
Yeah.
And COVID, like,
oh, dear God.
We done with that? I remember thinking that. What? It's here again?
You're kidding me.
This season.
Ugh.
And up here in New York, you know, we were not locked down, but encouraged to stay home. And, and darkness was all around. I mean, not only were the nights longer, it felt dark.
Yeah. Agreed.
And so this is the day where we start to notice a little more light.
Right.
A little more daylight, a little more time during the day. And of course, I started getting excited. You know, the sun is shining, you know, the weather's warming up, and you start to feel this feeling of, oh my goodness, thank God.
Yeah.
The darkness is gone.
Right.
And that got me thinking about, as human beings, we're always looking for this balance. We're always looking to balance things out. For example, I went on vacation in February for my birthday. I got to go to St. Thomas for a week, and that was amazing.
Right.
However, I worked 12-hour days, including my birthday, because I thought I had to make up for it.
Oh, geez. What is that?
And don't we have that? It's like, okay.
Oh, yeah.
I get to be joyous, free, relaxed at the beach, my favorite place where there's no, you know, schedule. I'm not sitting in front of my computer and I'm free. But my goodness, am I going to have to pay for it? I'm
Right.
going to have to sit at my computer and make
Yep.
up that time.
That's right.
And it is our nature. We have in our human experience these opposites, male, female,
Mm-hmm.
form and formless, right? This idea of there's nothing, and then we create something, and then it manifests, and then it's over. So it's formless, it's nothing, it's just empty space waiting to become form, to materialize.
Mm.
It's part of how we are made in the image of
Right.
the great creator, right? We are all
Right.
creators, whether we are aware of it or not.
Right.
There's not, and we do it all day, every day.
Oh, yeah.
And so I always like to bring our attention back to, did you know you're doing this? And just wanting people to take a minute right now and think of something that you just created from nothing. It could be a pie. It could be a game. What is it? To remind ourselves that we are doing this all day, every day.
Mm.
That formless form of that feeling of eternity
Mm-hmm.
versus being time bound.
Right.
That thing about time where when you're having a joyous, free, amazing minute, as opposed to working really hard to
Right.
get something done or achieved or produced, and that same minute feels like an hour.
Yeah. Or the opposite, where the hour feels like a minute. Like, what? I can't. What?
That's right. And we start to experience ourselves with these comparisons, these opposites. And how do we balance them?
Mm-hmm.
How do we, and as simply and at our purest essence as human beings, breathing in and breathing out. The idea that we are in constant motion between these opposites. And some moments we're feeling more than others. And it made me, when I was thinking about this, I was thinking about how, for example, in the breath, it's part of the whole, but we don't experience the other stuff like that, right? We're either having daytime or nighttime. They seem like two very different things. We don't experience them as part of the whole thing.
Yes. And when we do experience the joy of eternity and creating, whatever the balance of that at the same time is where we get into our flow state, where things are just rolling out and time is flying by with like no comprehension that it's passing. And that's a beautiful place to be. And it's interesting that it's the combination of these two opposites. I'm working, but I'm joyful in my bliss, in eternity, in the divine, and this beautiful stuff is coming out. And that doesn't just mean the arts or speaking or, somebody could have a brilliant idea for accounting in the middle of that flow state. We all have that state where we're perfectly balanced. But I got to tell you, I don't live there very often.
It's so true. And it makes me think of the seesaw, right? we are much more comfortable when it's going up and down. I mean, when it's
Yes.
balanced, it's boring. It's no
Yes.
fun anymore.
Yeah, you're right.
And yet that's what we are always trying to do. As human beings, we're looking for balance.
Interesting.
And what is balance? Right? That's
Right.
the seesaw.
Right.
That's when it's not going up and down anymore.
Yeah.
And just thinking about this idea of, the emotional highs and lows and our dark side, our shadow side versus when we're in flow and shining and feeling our power. And, one is good and one is bad. And what if it isn't? What if those dark moments or those winters in our life are moments to embracing our shadow, embracing the dark? That's a new practice, right? What would we have to do? What would we have to do to be able to be in the dark when we are there? And, we're taught, don't stay there. Don't wallow. Do something to distract yourself. Get out of there as fast as possible. It is frightening, I think.
It is.
To most of us that we're going to get stuck there forever.
Right. And, I started working out in the world when I was 16, as soon as I turned 16. We were not rich people. So I've been working my whole life. But I've been doing my life passion work since I was in my late 20s. And I just turned 50 in December. So
Happy birthday.
Thank you. So that's, 20 years of serious work, like creating and striving and laying it all on the line, if I'm being honest, for other people's dreams. And I find myself here at 50 in the circumstances which are I don't understand where I'm at right now. Just in case anybody out there is feeling the same way, I am currently in the darkness. I don't know what happened. And the only practice that I've been able to incorporate into this is there's a word for worship in the Bible, and it means remembering. And I am consciously remembering that even though I am formless and void right now, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't have the next show about to come out of me or, the next brilliant idea. I'm really empty and formless at the moment. And I have to keep reminding myself that I've been in this place before, maybe not for this length of time, but goodness and new life always spring out of this place, just like our earthly winters, just like the winter of discontent that we all have. And so I don't know the exact answer to what do we need to do to embrace it, but part of what we have to do is remember that everything passes. The good times pass, the bad times pass, the directionlessness will pass. And so, I'm just thinking, I was going to say, so I've been thinking on my past successes, but you know what? I haven't.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. I've been thinking on my past failures.
I get it. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. This idea of what we should be doing to get ourselves out. You're
Right.
just, you're absolutely personifying it right now. Thank you so much for sharing and your courage to share,
Sure.
Shannon, because we've been taught by our society that we're not supposed to be okay here.
Right.
Now here's what the spring equinox is about. I feel like this is the lesson, and it reminds me of one of my stories. So I'm going to tell you
All right.
a story, one of my
time.
favorite stories. And it is the ancient Greek story of Persephone.
Mm.
She is the goddess, the spring maiden goddess. So here's the story. Imagine beautiful, innocent Persephone picking wild flowers with her mother out in a field, dancing, enjoying life, feeling the earth between her toes, when a roar from beneath them is followed by a crack opening the ground. And Hades, the lord of the underworld, thunders up through the crevice in his black chariot. He scoops up Persephone and plunges back down into the ground, leaving the grieving mother alone. This could be read as a horrible story of abduction, right? And servitude.
Can't say that I'm hearing it any other way right this second.
That's right. But the story goes on to say that even though Persephone becomes the wife of the Lord of the darkness, she contains within her the promise of spring.
Mm.
And she became the guide for travelers between the worlds as they traveled from light to dark, from heaven to hell.
Mm.
And she negotiated with her husband to live one half of the year above ground and the other half below ground. And each spring, she removes her crown because she's the queen of the underworld.
Right.
And closes the door to the underground and catapults herself back to the surface.
Mm.
And every year she joins her adoring mother, runs her bare toes between the flowers, feeling the earth beneath her. And together they bring back the miracle of spring.
Mm.
And this idea of it's part of us. It is part of us to experience both.
Yeah.
And as you said, Shannon, this too shall pass.
Right.
And if we can remember that those dark times we are experiencing ourselves as the seed beneath the soil. Alone in the dark, not even able to imagine what we are going to become, but trusting and knowing that the light will come the sun will shine and pull us towards it. And we have nothing else to do but grow and become and fulfill our promise. And then the seeds fall and we go back down. So today I want to invite all of us to love ourselves as the seed as much as we love ourselves as the flower. And to look for signs of spring and a new balance, because every time we make that journey, we are bringing light to new parts of us that we don't know yet. And it's scary. And the scariest part is we don't know that part of ourselves yet. But it's there. And it's part of who we are. And I can't wait to see what's going to happen. Like, what is going to bloom for you?
Thank you.
I know this moment is scary because you're in not knowing.
Right.
As a lot of us are. And every time we expand and grow, there's that moment of not knowing.
Right.
Bless you, my darling, dear Shannon. Thank you for your courage sharing it with us today.
Oh, you're quite welcome. And, I just hope that anybody who finds themselves in this same incubation moment will be encouraged by your encouragement.
As we take a deep centering breath, opening our hearts and souls to this moment, we get to go within. We get to get still and know. And as we breathe in and out, we remind ourselves that as breath moves in, it must move out. That day follows night, and day comes again. We experience the void or the formless. And we trust and know that form must happen. We are creators, creating something from nothing every day. We are connected to the source of all there is, to the great creator. We know the truth that even dark does not know itself without light. We are willing to experience ourselves as that tiny seed deep down in the darkness of the earth. cold, alone, not having any idea of who or what it will become. Not even being able to imagine it, because all we know is that darkness, that feeling of the void, of being alone, of being empty. We're so afraid of it, and yet that is where creation lives. That bold and beautiful, gorgeous flower is within that tiny seed. You see, we're all of it. We are all of it. We are the sun. We are the moon. We are the day. We are the night. We are the seed, and we are the flower, and we move in and through these stages of experiencing ourselves so that we can let more light in, so that we can learn how to be still, be empty, so that we can experience the fullness, the blossom, the bloom, the growing, the reaching up out of ourselves towards the divine that is constantly here within us. We are human beings full of divine love and light. We are all of it. We are earth and sky. We are the sun and the moon. We are all of it. And today we embrace the darkness, knowing that the light is always there. We trust. We know who we are and whose we are. And we trust the creation process. We must be empty in order to fill. We must pass some time within, still, in order to grow. And for the knowledge and understanding of who we truly are, and for the divine unfoldment of our purpose and the presence of the divine within, we say thank you. And so it is.
We hope you've enjoyed this episode of The Magnetic Voice here on the Experience of the Soul podcast channel. This channel is made possible because of listeners just like you. If you would like to support the channel with your tax-deductible contribution on an ongoing basis or through a one-time gift, head over to experienceofthesoul.com/support. The Magnetic Voice is copyright 2022 Monique McDonald, all rights reserved. Our theme music is composed by Dave Kropf and used with permission. The Experience of the Soul podcast channel is a production of 818 Studios.
Hey friends, Sean here, your Experience of the Soul producer. I want to take a moment to tell you about something truly exciting. The SoulWorks online community, created by your host, Cynthia Alice Anderson, and available on the Mighty Networks app. If you're looking for a place where you can explore your spiritual path, connect with others, and grow in a meaningful way, then this is for you. SoulWorks is so much more than an online community. It's a safe, inclusive space for spiritual exploration, self-discovery, and personal transformation. Inside the community, you'll find everything from uplifting spiritual studies to soul-centered growth practices, meditations, affirmations, and so much more. It's a space where you'll always be supported and never judged. The best part, membership is free. You'll have access to powerful resources, inspiring content, and a supportive group of like-minded people who are all on their own unique spiritual journeys. And if you're ready to dive deeper, there are premium options available to enhance your experience with a live Monday night talk series and extended, deeper meditations. If you're seeking a place to connect, grow, and nurture your soul, we would love to have you join us in the SoulWorks community and see where this journey can take you. Visit my.soulworkscommunity.com today.